What was the reaction from the teller? Or whoever, I know who handled it. That must have been something for the person who had to handle that transaction. I hear the money's still rolling in, by the way. It's still coming in. What was your reaction to the being at the top of the Forbes list again? How big an honor was that for you personally?
I'm just blessed. You know, I'm blessed. You know, anybody that's in the Forbes magazine is blessed. You know, I'm just thankful, very appreciative. I couldn't do it without the team support from my team.
It really does reflect on the entire organization. Something's being done right, and whether promotions and without even reflecting, right? I mean, it's almost like a team kind of thing. I mean, you at the top, your name.
You know, I'm just a fighter / promoter. Just trying to get back to the sport of boxing. It's all about getting back to the sport of boxing. If I'm in a position to give back.
Is that what this weekend's card is about, helping you promote it? You got a lot of your fighters on the cards.
I mean, I'm just happy that, you know, that we're able to work together in a positive way. I think, you know, Leonard has done a remarkable job. Al Hammond has done a remarkable job. And it's all about chemistry. I think we have unbelievable chemistry.
Physically, how are you feeling? If you had to train for a fight today, could you be in the gym? Are you physically good?
I'm probably ready.
No, but my point is you came out of the fight very well, right? Physically.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like normal. You know, it's
Sure.
like I always feel.
Yeah.
I've been real busy, actually, making appearances, a lot of appearances. I've been a few places lately.
You enjoy the finals?
I've seen you courtside a lot.
I love basketball.
Were you surprised Golden State won, or did you think LeBron could single-handedly win Cleveland to the title by himself?
You know, every year, you know, when you're in the betting world, you have a certain team that you ride with. I've been riding with the Golden State Warriors from the beginning. I think when Durant was 100% OKC,
Yes.
I was riding with them. I was winning a lot of money with them. LeBron James is the best basketball player in the world. Probably the best basketball player of all time. But Golden State Warriors are the best team in the NBA. So it's hard for one man to beat a team. When I take my hat off to LeBron James, remarkable athlete, unbelievable athlete, great guy. You know, I know how social media could be. You know, they're with you today, they hate you tomorrow, they talk about you tomorrow, then the next day, when you win it right back, riding the bandwagon.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I think Stephen Curry is probably the best. You know, Stephen Curry is probably the best shooter of all time. Kevin Durant is the best scorer of all time. And I say LeBron James is probably the best player of all time.
You're old enough to remember Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I was.
They're different players.
Yeah, I watched.
In different eras.
I think it's different eras. You know, I just like me and Stephen A. Smith was having a talk about different basketball players, and you know, when I look at certain basketball players, it's really just an opinion. If we're going by numbers, then I mean, but I cannot leave Kobe Bryant out. You know, we're talking about Durant, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, but we're talking about Michael Jordan, we cannot leave Kobe Bryant out. And it's an argument also with that situation, because you could say he's the best.
Yeah, it's a lot like the boxing argument that people have regarding you all the time.
Of course. And I commend.
You never try to compare yourself to another guy's from a different era. You
I know.
worry about talent.
Yes, but it's totally different. It's totally different. There's no disrespect to no fighter, you know, that's in the past that paved the way. I just feel I'm the best.
Hey Floyd, can you explain how you got this gym? How did you come to own this gym and train here?
It's kind of. I think I left top ring, dude.
No. Say hello.
I was probably training at a good gym. Oh, the Berries is a nice gym. I was training at Berries.
And then how'd you get here? You wanted your own place?
We probably made some calls around. And I had to come physically to look at the property. And when I came here, I said, okay, it's a nice place. I said, our company is getting bigger. I'm getting bigger. Let's knock the wall down. So we knocked the wall down. And then,
you give your guys tough tasks, right?
and then we said, we're growing. So let's knock the wall down. Let's knock the wall down again.
Hey, Floyd, Speedy from the Lucy Menace Show in New York City. You speculate about retirement and all this. Can anybody carry boxing after you?
You got two guys this weekend. Adrien Broner and Errol Spence. Those guys, don't do that. Don't come on my gym and be disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Either you want to be here or you don't.
No, I just think that you're the best pound for pound.
Yeah, but in this gym, it's just respect. Positive. How the sport grows, we stay positive. You know, we can't grow being negative.
I hear you, bro.
You know, that's like, you know, we can't grow being negative. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to get to this point. The ultimate goal is to. First, the guy got. It takes a lot to get to this point. You can't just be able to fight. You got to be able to know how to communicate, have certain charisma. The guys, they have the right team. They have the right team. They continue to win. We bring that personality out, those guys, and then we'll see where we can go from there.
But I think there was only 2 showmen in boxing, 3 showmen. You, Hector Camacho, and Muhammad Ali. To me, you 3 guys are the only guys that really showed boxing.
But we cannot be biased because you're Puerto Rican. And Camacho was a legend. You know, he was one hell of a fighter. You know, Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, and the list goes on and on. We never talk about Ann Pryor.
Yeah, from Cincinnati.
Understand, those are the guys that when I used to watch it. It's hard time. What time is it? It's hard time.
Yeah, 2 great fights, him and Alexis Arguello.
We'll never talk about Alexis Arguello. You know, those are the guys. You know, Michael Dokes. You know those.
Dynamite, Michael Dokes. Yes.
I mean, those are the guys that I remember. I mean, my personal opinion is just my opinion. I think Larry Holmes was probably
Oh, he was a great fighter too.
one of the best.
When you take Adrien and you consider him, I mean, how much of his talent is he getting out? I mean, it seems like he's more talented than he actually performs in the ring wise.
Well, you take my fighter. What's that little guy? We got so many fighters.
Memphis?
No, can't have No,
Mickey Bay.
the same guy that Mickey Bay lost to. The same guy that gave the guy. What's the guy that's a big puncher?
Batista.
Batista. You see the difference? How Adrien Broner handled the guy.
You need my dad?
No, I'm talking about Molina. Adrien Broner facing Maidana. How he got up and kept fighting. Showed a lot of heart. Showed a lot of heart, tremendous heart. Because with me fighting Maidana, I mean, of course, with me having so much experience, I know how to handle any and every type of style, you know, facing different opponents. Adrien Broner, if I was in his corner, I probably would have stopped the fight before he could level him, because you have a career, you still have a long career, and a fight like that can take a lot out of a fighter. Because I care about a fighter's well-being because I'm a fighter. When I was young, when I was 24, 25, I'd be like, when a trainer stops a fight, you get upset. When a trainer throws a white towel in, fighter get upset. I'm like, I used to tell my corner, you better never throw a towel in on me. But you gotta think about your career, longevity. But with me fighting, Maidana, he punched like he got steel in his glove.
What do you want people to remember about you?
The main thing is long as my kids remember, as long as my family remember. That's what's important when it's all said and done. Because fans, they move on to the next. They move on to the next. You know, they could be with you today. Same thing like with LeBron. You got fans that's going on social media. They got on his sneakers and talking bad about him. So, I mean, you live and you learn. I mean, my thing is family. That's what's important to me. As I get older and as I get wiser, family.
Just to follow up on what you're saying about Adrien, you were in there against Maidana, and you know how serious of an opponent he is. So when Adrien is fighting him, you know, he's just humping him in the corner. Like, how seriously can you be taking the fight if you're doing that kind of shit during the fight, right? Don't you have to have 100% of your focus on fighting him and not doing that other shit?
That's why I play a major key.
That's what I'm asking.
Normally, his training camp is in Cincinnati, where there's a lot of distractions. What happened? I got on the phone with him. Get here. We need you here where there's no distractions. And he's still going to make a lot of mistakes because he's young. It's no different from me. I made a lot of mistakes. But I didn't have a mentor like a Floyd Mayweather to communicate and tell me right from wrong.
Do you see a difference?
Well, I think that it's a lot that he still have to learn. To whereas when Leonard Ellaby is on the podium talking about the fighters, you know, Adrien has to realize he can't just praise him. In the promotion world, we have to be on an even playing field. No different from what we talked about in the past about the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. Only thing I wanted to be was on an even playing field. So, Sean Porter has been champion before, so we can't just talk. This guy only has one loss, and Adrien Broner has one loss. So, I think it's a good matchup.
If he takes it as seriously as you take it, or close to that seriously, how good could he be?
He could be a pay-per-view star. You know, a lot of times fighters, when they get into business, fighters first they say, you know what? I want to be world champion. I want to make a lot of money. At one particular time, they wanted to be on a certain network. But then, of course, Mayweather, I come in, I change the game. It's all about the small guys now. Not taking anything away from the heavyweights, but I changed the sport of boxing. I done something in the sport of boxing no fighter in history has ever done, and probably will never do. Whereas we don't, nothing against the Klitschko's or no other heavyweight, but this era of boxing is all about Mayweather. And I've been around a long time. I've been around a very, very long time. But as far as with Adrien Broner, he's super talented.
Well, you talk about Errol Spence, because Errol Spence, a lot of people don't know him yet, but you've been around him for a while. So what do you see in that kid?
Well, this is what happened. You know, I call a spade a spade. I was, you know, I'd done time. So when I was locked away, when I came out, you know, I was still off a little while. When I came back to the gym, when I came back to the gym, I wasn't boxing, you know, orthodox fighters. The guys that I was boxing, because my fight, instantly under my contract, was with Guerrero, so he was a southpaw. So the first guy that started sparring was a southpaw. So he was giving me, he was giving me good work, real good work. And he pushed me, made me get in tip-top condition. And when I got in tip-top condition, I was Floyd Mayweather. But he's a hell of a fighter.
So he was very instrumental in helping you sharpen up after you came out?
Yes, absolutely. But it's gonna take a little bit more. And me and Errol Spence talk. Where you at? Where Errol Spence? You still working? We talk, and we're looking forward to, I think that this next fight, I think was a good matchup, is Keith Thurman. I think there should be a championship fight. I think him and Keith Thurman should fight for a title, his next fight. He's ready. I got belts I would like to relinquish that I haven't yet relinquished, and I haven't yet got my WBO belt. You know, if I can relinquish something, I have to receive it.
So Bradley and Vargas are not fighting for that belt.
I'm just saying, I'm not getting into the politics of it, but everybody knows. I'm just saying, I've yet to receive my.
Just won the belt.
I've yet to receive my WBO belt. So, once again, I was on the podium. I said, this week, you know, I believe that I would like to relinquish my belts, and I want to relinquish my belts, however it may came out. But I still get to receive my BO belt. So how is somebody fighting for something that I'm yet to receive?
Like I asked Jesse that Monday. He says, I don't know what's going on. Is that Floyd's belt? But we're fighting for it. So he doesn't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
These type of things happen in the sport of boxing.
Floyd, everybody wants to see your super fights. What would be a super fight you want to see?
Don't get to you.
Okay.
I know you, New York.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You have a young gentleman here, Badu Jack, that nobody thought would win a title, shocked the world. What can we learn from that?
Well, I bet on him.
You did? You were the only guy to bet on him like that.
I bet on him. It was a good fight. I think Badu had a little bit too much respect for him, but because he's a gentleman. When it's all said and done, he's the perfect gentleman. But you know, we're gonna continue to push Badu because we want that mean streak to come out of Badu. You know, I think we have a couple of world champions now, but the future of boxing is all Mayweather promotions.
You have a kid here, Andrew Tabiti. I think he's top 5 hardest hitters in boxing, 9-0, 9 knockouts. What can you tell us about him?
We're ready to fight for a title.
Already?
Absolutely. What are we waiting for? And I said the same thing. You know, we got this little young kid that's turning pro also under our belt. But I want to talk about Tabiti and Badoujet. You know, those guys are the quiet storm. They don't say too much, but they do a lot when they get in that square circle. And so, the people that's social media, follow these two guys. They're not going to say much, very humble, very appreciative, but they're going to do a lot when they get inside that square circle. And that's really what it's about. Going out there and making things happen. Badu had a little minor setback, but it was a major comeback.
Well, you're promoting 2 shows on the weekend, one on NBC, one on CBS. You're the consummate pay-per-view fighter, but it seems like the Premier Boxing is trying to go away from pay-per-view and take boxing more free. What is your theory on the impact that Premier Boxing can have and going on network television can have on boxing for the long term?
Leonard, touch on that subject, please.
I think it's a wonderful thing, obviously, because with the next generation of young stars, obviously led by the Mayweather promotion stars, they're the future of the sport. So everyone can't be a star like a Floyd Mayweather, you know, so they have to start somewhere. And with taking boxing back to network television, it gives an opportunity for the casual fan to be able to watch and see these young rising stars grow. They get a chance to see them fight often, and they get a chance to understand what their life is, not only inside the ring, but outside the ring. So I think it's a great thing that being able to bring boxing back to the mainstream core of people, and it will not only elevate the sport, but elevate the fighters. Right now, because of Floyd, the way he's changed the dynamics of sports in general, the fighters are making record purses. And it's all because of Floyd. It's all because the fight. This is what I'm saying. Is that
because when I was fighting in the beginning, I mean, these guys wasn't making, that type of money. Not these small guys, not even the big guys. They were making good, okay money. I don't really know the numbers. I do know the numbers. I don't like to really put the numbers out there, but I can talk about the numbers that we're doing. We making sure guys are comfortable. That's what we are doing.
So what are they making on Saturday?
A lot of money.
How much is a lot?
A lot of money. Both guys.
Well, they're not making, 420 million for the year, but they get some money.
But can't the free TV make the pay-per-views even bigger in the future too because of exposure?
Well, yes. I mean, ultimately, we have to see where it all shakes out, but it's all about these young fighters getting an opportunity to be seen and showcased with casual fans taking the sport to the next level. And like I said, you can't say enough but thanking Floyd for being in position to be the one that's very vocal about fighters deserve the lion's share of the money. Absolutely. The fighters are getting paid. When I say the fighters are getting paid, so if you're a fighter out there, how are you going to hate on this guy when he's ultimately the reason why you're making a bunch of money at the end of the day? Because
I change the sport. Let's change the sport just totally.
Pacquiao,
sports in general, it's not boxing.
What do you think your total was from Pacquiao?
Total, like, what do you say?
So you got $100 million check. I saw your check.
No, how much money I made?
That night.
Probably 275, 276.
Holla.
Adrien Broner likes to compare.
Told us to make Adrien. We want to make a fighter bigger than me. I want my records to be broke.
No, but because he does like to compare himself to you, and you're obviously on a completely different level. What type of advice do you give him to kind of be like, it takes time to get to where you're at in your career?
I love Adrien Broner. But I want to say this. Everything takes time. Everything takes time. Sean Porter is not an easy task. This is not going to be easy for Adrien. I never seen a guy, Roberto Garcia, fight, but Errol Spence is always working hard. Mentally, he's always in the right place. So we just have to see how that fight plays out also.
Okay. Well, I was more asking on a friendship level, like, friend to friend when you give someone advice.
I mean, why can't I answer that with them? Everything basically takes time.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, me, I didn't used to have patience. I'm talking about far as when I want something. That's why I always fought hard to make sure I was in a position to get what I wanted. When I reflect back on my career, I used to see guys, and I used to want to fight every guy. Like, I want to fight him, I want to fight him, I want to fight him. But then, when I got older, I got wiser. If I fight everybody right now, I ain't gonna have nobody for pay-per-view.
Floyd, you dominated against Pacquiao so good that everybody's talking about you moving up to 160, 168, heavyweight.
I finally had a chance to see the guy fight. What's the guy?
Gennady Golovkin.
Congratulations for everything that he's done, but even at my weight, he can't beat me. I don't knock him. He can't beat me. I thought he was really, straight up and down, no special effects. He can punch, but I seen him in his last fight. He was having, I don't even know who that guy was.
William Monroe Jr.
He was having, if I'd have worked with the guy could have beat him. But I don't take nothing away from Golovkin. It's obvious he done something right. So whoever they put in front of him, he beat him. So he's been doing something right thus far. And I've seen Oscar. I seen a little thing Oscar talking about.
Yeah.
He's coming back. If he wants to, we can rock and roll in September.
Hey, Floyd.
Fight Oscar De La Hoya in September.
Now we can do it in 54. He already know that. He said he wanted the rematch. So if Oscar won, he can get it in September. He already know I'll bring.
Hey, Floyd.
Cotto said he might fight Canelo. You fought both of them. You beat both of them. Who do you think wins that one?
Tremendous matchup. Both solid competitors, both good fighters, and even and I think they was talking about they put Golovkin in the mix. I seen him fight. I'm just saying that when everybody was talking to me about him, so I had to take time out of my schedule. So let me watch this guy. Let me see. Actually, I think I won money on him.
You did?
Yeah,
You got the under. The under on the round.
Yeah.
Hey, Floyd, every Puerto Rican in New York, Puerto Rico, in the world.
But Golovkin, he goes out and does what he has to do, but at my weight right now, I walk around at 150. 148, 150. Probably be a good fight for me. Probably would. But I'm almost finished.
What makes realistic sense for you to fight in September 12th? In your mind, who realistically makes sense for you to fight?
I think September I'm going to choose really who I want to choose.
Right. Makes sense though.
I think probably Adrien Broner. Yeah, I need probably a Berto or Kareem Mayfield. To get me ready for my 50th bout. Everybody say they want to see number 50. I think Berto he's been looking good, as of lately.
Amir kind of insulted me because I asked him about you, right? We almost got into it in Brooklyn. You wanted to, because I asked him, I said, you overriding everybody, you want Floyd. And he's like, what the hell you know about boxing? So,
well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody wants to fight Floyd Mayweather. Everybody wants to get that lottery ticket.
Floyd, can you explain what you took after the weigh-in for the Pacquiao fight, where you had the TUE from USADA, the fluid that you took? And I was surprised that you had to take, whatever it was you took after the weigh-in that you saw the saline solution and whatever else it was.
Take like what?
I know you saw it put out. They gave you a TUE.
With any fighters, some fighters take Pedialytes. Let me touch on that subject.
I guess when I'm asking,
just rehydrate.
When a fighter is
well, my question is this:
because my urine, my urine was dark, extremely dark. Darker than normal. That could be from overworking, and extremely dark.
Well, let me just add, the question I wanted to ask was, you're normally not struggling to make weight because you're walking.
We're struggling there. We're
Right.
struggling
So,
there.
so I guess, you know, why did you have
Because a
trouble
lot
hydrating?
of times what happens is that when you work, you become dehydrated. It's not that you're struggling to make weight. It's just he pushes himself so hard. You got to remember.
And I'm a lot older now.
Yeah, and you got to remember too is that we're going down through. He's going down through the drug testing. You know, so he's working out, having to get blood taken, you know, give urine and do all this, you know, also with preparing for a fight. You know, so it was nothing out of the ordinary.
When did you think UFC announced they hired USADA year-round, 24/7? Fighters are subject to test at any time all year long.
Am I the same fighter that got criticized? Is this the same guy that got criticized from everyone? Am I that guy?
Yeah, you would be that guy. You would be that guy.
Touch on that subject, please.
No, it's just, you know, I commend obviously Dana and them. You know, they've taken the boxing.
Okay.
Yeah, the Mayweather boxing model. You are the model. And you know, they're looking to. They've had a lot of problems, you know, in their sport, and they're looking to, you know, elevate their sport for it to be a clean sport. Floyd, from day one, he's talked about random blood and urine, and we've obviously worked with USADA because it's the best organization out there for that. And you know, so I think I commend Dana and them for stepping up and making a stand for their sport, and they're doing what they need to do.
So to follow up, would you as a promoter do that, what he's doing, because he's doing it year-round, right? I mean, so you could fight today, and then tomorrow they could test you, right? That's what they're doing with him. So year-round, would you? You know, boxing needs that too. Would you
We're always open to ways to continue to clean up the sport. You know, Floyd has been the face of the sport. He's been the example of what being a clean athlete is about. You know, he's been an undefeated, the only undefeated person in any sport, you know, for 19, almost 20 years. You know, those are the kind of things I think that, you know, and he's been competing at the highest level all these years.
Floyd, after retirement, do you plan on making more appearances in movies and whatnot, maybe going more into entertainment?
I've been offered, you know, I've been offered a lot of.
I got 2 calls today.
I've been offered, I've been getting offers all the time for, you know, the movies. What I'm doing now, I'm shooting, you know, JP Connected. Guy that used to be with Pacquiao camp. You should have kept him. That's a strong chess piece. Me good. Just got to be doing all my social media, be doing all my stuff. I keep with me every day. But I think I'm gonna come out with a, you know, what we had 30 days in May before, right? I think 30 days in May. Not really 30 days in May. I think people are gonna get a chance to see behind the scenes with what really goes on. Someone that before they went to the nightclub. He took his camera with him to the nightclub. Somebody was driving one of my, I think it was my Bentley. They were driving one of my cars in LA. They stole all our footage, a whole bunch of our footage. We're talking about hours of footage of us traveling around the world. We're gonna do a documentary about us traveling around the world, everything that we do. We was in Moscow, Russia. We was in Ibiza, Spain. Istanbul, Turkey. London, of course. Paris. We was in Paris at the Fashion Week.
I think you went to Africa too, right? South Africa.
I think. Well, I don't think I got Africa. I still got Africa. You know, when I was in the wilderness. I mean, in the wildlife in Africa. Tokyo, Japan. Germany. You know, I've been everywhere around the world. Panama. I mean, basically any place you can name, I've been damn near everywhere. But what people don't know is almost my whole career, I got behind the scenes. I meet this with my kids, everything. My whole life, basically. I'm talking about, to watch it, it'll probably take a whole year. You could do a series of it.
Yeah.
but for the right price, we're gonna sell it.
Floyd, you've done it all, and you know you're an athlete. When you retire, is there a new venture you want to do? Because you're not gonna, the athlete in you, the celebrity in you, is not gonna want to stay home. What is something you want to do?
I'm loving doing this. I'm loving being on the other side. It's kind of cool being on the other side.
Floyd, how did you have the discipline all these years not to drink, not to smoke, and just live that healthy lifestyle?
Longevity. You know, they see me in the club, they think I'm buying, you know. I don't really go to the club too much. If they paying that check, no, I'm going. You know, Linda's got me a check today, right here.
Leonard, is there a timetable to get this kind of things on your mind?
No. I mean, we have time, and you know, we're gonna look at options that are out there, and we'll
but what I really,
come up with something.
this is something I really want to say. These, Do It All Bob is, he's a man, as far as in the future, right now, in the future of boxing, it's all about Do It All Bob. Guy's unbelievable. Now, I've had my hands wrapped throughout my career. You know, my career started really in 77, but we're gonna say 87. The guy can wrap hands, do cuts, he can do it all.
We're talking about hand wrappers now? We were just talking about great fighters, now we're talking hand wrappers?
We're talking about the guys that's in the sport, because remember, I'm finna leave. You know, Rafael Garcia is almost 90 years old. So if he's gone, then who's up next? You know, Miguel Diaz, he's up there too, so who's next? We got guys like Do It All Bob that's now, and he's the future of boxing, to help these guys. Because that plays a major, major role. Those little things like that play a major, major role in boxing.
Could you see yourself as a trainer, training a fighter?
I'm gonna work with Adrien today.
Okay. You were the champion, and you know now you're gonna make champions.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try.
Thank you.
This my soda?
Yeah.
Thanks, Floyd.